try to set our souls free. 'Cause there's too much talking, too much talking, too much talking, too much. If there's too much talking, too much talking, too much talking, too much. Can we just see for a minute through somebody else's eyes? Can we just see for a moment? Oh, we've got to change our lives. Can we just feel for a minute the earth beneath our feet? Can we just feel for a moment? Oh, a little bit of empathy. There's too much talking, too much talking, too much talking, too much. Yeah, there's too much talking, too much talking, too much talking, too much. Yeah, there's too much talking, too much talking, too much talking, too much. Yeah, there's too much talking, too much talking, too much talking, too much. Yeah, there's too much talking, too much talking, too much talking, too much. Yeah, there's too much talking, too much talking, too much talking, too much. Yeah, there's too much talking, too much talking, too much talking, too much. Yeah, there's too much talking, too much talking, too much talking, too much. Oh, do you feel me? Oh, do you feel me? Oh, do you feel me? We just stop for a minute and take a step back, and we just stop for a minute, take a look at what we have. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. What a beautiful day for a march, yeah? Now is not the time to hide or run away in fear, 'cause we've learned from history exactly what's happened here. Are we just gonna sit back and watch it all unfold, pretend like nothing's happening and do what we're told? And yes, I am privileged because I am white, but that doesn't mean that I can't stand up and fight for my brothers and my sisters, whatever shape they are. 'Cause underneath our skin, I know we're all just hiding scars. Yes, we're all just hiding scars. So how do we break the cycle? How do we break the chain? Here's a question we keep asking again and again. We can say this is how it always is and how it'll always be, or we can rise together for the sake of humanity. Cause the earth, she is screaming, screaming for a change. Yes, don't you see her bleeding? Don't you think it's strange that it's summer in November? Some say 'cause we're in hell, but I've seen heaven out my back door, and this much I can tell, that there's something bigger than you or me. It's bigger than the color of our Can you stand up for those that hurt? Can you show them love? 'Cause it's all a matter of perspective. What you choose to see is just a reflection of yourself, reflected off of me. And I've heard people say, after dark there is light, so let us help each other through these days. And here, take my flashlight. 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 Thank you. We're gonna do one more song. This next tune was inspired by the quote, "They tried to bury us, but they didn't know we were seeds." If you appreciate the message of this song, we do have t-shirts for sale over there that say "Stronger Than Fear," and all the proceeds for those shirts go straight to ACLU Missouri. And we've got a handful of those left over there. So be sure to check it out. They try to bury us, they try to sweep us under. They try to silence us, they try to scare us with thunder. But after thunder comes the rain, and after rain comes the pain, and from that pain a seed will grow taller than the sky and stronger than gold. 'Cause we are still, we are stronger than fear. Yes, we are still, we're stronger. They try to teach us our neighbor is our enemy. They say, swallow this pill, we got the best remedy. But as you swallow, you feel it go down, you feel the room spin around, and before you know, it's too late, 'cause you could have chosen not to swallow it. We are still, 'cause we are stronger than fear. Yes, we are stronger than fear. We're stronger. We're stronger. We're stronger. Don't believe everything that you read. Don't believe everything that you read. Don't believe everything. Don't believe everything that you read. Don't believe everything that you read. Don't believe everything. Don't believe everything that you read. Don't believe everything that you read. Don't believe everything. Don't believe everything that you Thank you. All right. Well, it is my absolute honor to introduce the first speaker of this afternoon. I got an email from this young lady, visionary, amazing young person who she sent me this email, and it was very timely when she sent it. It was, I'd say maybe a month ago or so, and it was around that time that the fires were raging in the Amazon, and I was feeling almost paralyzed. I was feeling paralyzed by what was happening, and because it can kind of take over your body, right? And the day before she had sent the email, I felt like I couldn't move. I was so tired of fighting and just in pain. And I got this email from a 4th grader who was feeling the same way. And that changed my perspective. Because we can't be paralyzed right now. We cannot stop fighting. This is not the time to do that, right? We've got to take our breaks and come back into the fight. So anyway, I am so grateful that she sent that email and that she invited us to be a part of this, because this is right up my alley. So please welcome Emma Winters.
I am Emma Winter. I am a 4th grader at Grant Elementary, and I have some amazing friends there that actually have supported me the whole way. I have friends actually in the front row: Olive, Brooklyn, and Marin. My brother, he's awesome, and my parents. They're all amazing people who have helped me every step of the way. And it's been a lifelong journey for me. It's been life-changing, and I feel that it's been amazing. And the whole way, I have amazing teachers, amazing friends that believe in me, and that really helped me when I wanted to do this. So, how I decided to plan this, I was really upset about the changing weather patterns when the tornado hit nearby Jefferson City earlier this year. It was really sad because a few people lost their lives and at least 50 people lost their homes. And since then, Hurricane Dorian hit the Bahamas, and over 50 people lost their lives and thousands lost their homes. It has been really scary. It was really scary, and it was also, there's been wildfires everywhere since then, and all sorts of weather issues. And so I decided to plan March for Our Earth because I was really passionate about this cause, and I feel we need to all make change. And it's not like you can say, "Mom, come make this change for me." You have to be a part in it yourself. And my current teacher, he could not make it today. And everybody that I know has been very supportive this whole time, and I thank you guys so much. I don't think you have any idea how much I thank you guys. It's been life-changing. My grandparents, my parents, my sibling, Jonathan, he's right down here. My mom, Jenny, she's in the front row. My grandparents and my uncle are in the back row. And my uncle and my cousin are back there, and my aunt. They're all here, and it's so inspiring that so many people have helped me do this, and I am so glad to see that so many people came, and that all of us are going to start making change today. So I'd like to introduce our second speaker of the day. Her name is Laura Wacker, and she is the head of the Earth Day celebration every year.
Thank you. I don't know if I can be as poised as that. It's really great to see a lot of people coming out to support the youth and their efforts to help in preserving our earth. I really applaud you all for coming out, and let's hear a great round of applause for Emma Winter. So 2020 is going to mark the 50th anniversary of the first Earth Day celebration. And so that was a long time ago, and the work done by those activists behind that movement accomplished a lot to protect us and the earth that we live on. Their actions led to the creation of the Environmental Protection Agency. They demanded the banning of DDT, which was an insecticide that was harmful to people and other living beings. And they shaped the consumer mindset to include recycling and voluntary simplicity. Although those efforts were off to a great start, it didn't take people long to forget that what we had worked so hard for. And Americans especially seem to have a short memory when it comes to those sorts of things. Over the last 30 years, we've made our way back to some of the same mistakes that we had when we started that whole movement. The fears of those environmentalists are now at our doorstep again. Instead of reducing our carbon emissions and preventing global warming, we've heated up the planet faster than we've expected it to heat up. And we filled our oceans and our landfills with plastic, so much so that birds and mammals have died with bellies full of plastic. We're extracting oil that will continue to emit greenhouse gases that will warm up the planet, and extraction methods like fracking destroy our beautiful earth and pollute our pristine waters. Corporations are at the heart of what's happening with our pollution. They have let their quest to please their investors become more important than the safety and well-being of their customers and the planet. While banning DDT saved the bald eagle, we now have things like glyphosate. And glyphosate is one of the ingredients in Roundup, and a lot of Americans don't even really realize that this ingredient is in there. They use it on their lawns all the time to kill dandelions, and we use it in a lot of different applications all over the country. It's banned by some other nations, and I hope that we will work to ban it here too, because one of the most important things about glyphosate, and it was created right here in Missouri by the company named Monsanto in St. Louis, it's coming to light that the weed killer is not only harmful to weeds, but it's harmful to other beings as well. They recently lost a lawsuit against a man who actually worked for a school system and applied this weed killer 30 times a year for his district and mixed the chemicals up, and he ended up getting cancer, and the court found that Monsanto was responsible for this. Yeah, it was a good win, but it at a big cost. And the bad thing about glyphosate, and it's not just in Roundup, but it's in some other things, and I really encourage you to look in your line of things that you apply to your lawn and see if it's in there, but it is very harmful to bees. It's been known to disrupt the gut microbia of the bees, leaving them more susceptible to harmful bacteria and contributing to the massive loss of bees. We're losing bees, we're losing insects, we're losing mammals at a quicker and quicker rate. So does anybody know what bees are good for? Honey, what else? Pollination, right. Okay, you guys are learning in your schools, that's good. We're experiencing a decline in the pollinator populations right now. And what can you do about it? Okay, as a kid in grade school or a parent of children who want to inherit this earth from us, you can make sure that you're providing safe and nourishing food for bees and other pollinators, okay? So be sure to plant in your garden some things that bees would like, and not to put Roundup on them, okay? Some of the things they like are lavender, marigolds, aster, and primrose, and you can keep your plants free of pesticides and herbicides and keep our bees healthy if you plant those in your garden. I'm going to give you one more suggestion today. Anybody here have a cell phone? Nobody? Oh, I thought it would be a lot. No, I'm just kidding. I know you all have cell phones, even some of you little ones. They keep creating new and better, faster, and cooler technology for us, don't they? And we've had some bad news about the carbon footprint of the information and communication technology sector. They'd like us to keep throwing out our old phone and getting a new one. Every couple of years, they want us to get a new one, okay? And those phones are made of some ingredients like lead, mercury, and cadmium, and they're dangerous chemicals, and when they get in the landfill, they leach out into that landfill. So, two things you can do. One, you can hold on to your current computer or iPad or whatever, cell phone, and hold on to it as long as you can use it. The less you buy of those, the less of those chemicals we're going to have having to find something to do with them, okay? We're also, when we take those minerals out of the earth, it's very dangerous and it's very, it has a real high carbon footprint to extract those minerals. So each time you buy a new item like that, you have contributed to the problem of extracting those minerals and then disposing of your old one. So try to keep hold of your cell phone as long as you can. And a lot of the people who are working in that industry often don't have the protections that we would like them to keep them safe from those minerals. And it happens a lot in foreign countries where even children are having to mine those minerals and they're not protected. So those are things to think about when you're thinking about your new cell phone. How much longer can you keep your old one? I'm still rocking a 5 here, and it still works. I'd like to tell you about a couple of things. I work for the Columbia Earth Day Coalition, and that's also part of PeaceWorks, okay? My job is part of PeaceWorks, and PeaceWorks does peace, justice, and sustainability education. So we put on classes throughout the year on sustainability, on how you can become more sustainable. Right now we have a class going on Wednesdays, at 7 p.m. And we talk about things that you can do in your life to make it more sustainable. This week's topic is going to be on transportation. So if you'd like to learn about how to reduce your carbon footprint with your transportation needs, come on out to the class at 7 o'clock. It's in the lounge at the Peace Nook. And we'll talk about that and some other things too. And then I'd like to tell you that Earth Day this year, Earth Day, the holiday, is always on April 22nd. And the event for this year is going to be on April 26th. We need tons of volunteers. We have lots of kid performances that go on there. Grant Elementary, I think, usually does a performance on Earth Day. And so we'll look forward to seeing you all there, and we hope we can help educate the rest of the community that didn't show up today about what we can do for sustainability. Right now, I would like to introduce Kylan Craig. He's 10 years old. He's a 5th grader at Locust Street Elementary, and he's got some things to talk about.
Yeah, I'm Kylan. I'd just like to say something before I start. Me and my family are huge National Park fans. We go there every year, so yeah, my speech has a little bit of that, so yeah, I'll get started. We're all here for a reason, right? We're here to save our plants, to save our animals, to save our Earth? Well, if we don't act soon, there may not be many plants or animals left to save. For example, Glacier National Park says if the current trends continue, in 2030, there will be no more active glaciers. It will also impact all of Glacier National Park's wildlife, flooding some of the lakes, etc. And don't forget about polar bears. Because of global warming, they're getting closer to extinction. Because of all of this, future generations will have totally different experiences, and all the world will have changed a lot. So join me and all the people who made this possible and help save our Earth. Thank you. Now, please welcome Carolyn.
I just wanted to give you a few more tips about things that you and especially young people can do to be able to have a positive impact and live in happy harmony with the earth. And I actually brought some props. So the first thing is, though, I want to suggest that we should have, kind of a theme that we live by every day, which is reduce, reuse, recycle. So I'm going to ask you to repeat that after I say it. So everybody, reduce, reuse, recycle. Great. So now I'd say that to yourself every morning when you get up. Okay, so a few things that I wanted to introduce you to that you might not be aware of. I gotta keep things from blowing away here. So some of you are young enough that you may not have ever seen bar soap. Well, excellent. This young lady uses bar soap, so she's already knows this tip. So when I was a kid, we all used bar soap, but then somebody invented liquid soap, and for some reason it caught on. But the thing is, it uses too many plastic bottles. So use bar soap. You can use bar soap to wash your hands, your face, and your body, and you can even get bar soap to wash your hair as shampoo bars. So I would recommend that you do this, and oh, by the way, scientists have proven it's not germy. So please switch from plastics, bottles of soap to bar soap. Next up is one you've probably heard before. Whoops, well, I better remember my speech. There it all goes. Okay, so next one is these plastic bottles full of water are so wasteful to the environment. And whether it's a plastic bottle full of water or a beverage of some other form, it's really not good for you to drink. Oh, thanks, kids. It's really not good for you to drink from a plastic bottle, especially for children, because MU has demonstrated some of those toxins get released into the beverage. So please use recycle or use reusable water or beverage bottles. You can get them in all different sizes. It's easy to do. If you want a cold beverage, stick a few of these in the refrigerator or keep a pitcher of cold water. So that's what my grandson's objected to. I want cold water, so we keep a pitcher in the refrigerator for him. Okay. Next up is recycle, okay? So we said reduce, reuse, recycle. So recycling is really important. If you don't recycle at home and you need some of these blue bags to get started, we have extra ones over here at the Sierra Club table. If you live in a house, then you can set these right out on your curb. If you live in an apartment, then you have to take them to the drop-off locations or the bins that might come around to your apartment complex. So, but it's so important to use these to recycle, because every single thing that you recycle becomes something new. So a water bottle might get turned into carpeting. A glass bottle might get turned into something totally new out of glass. And aluminum cans just get immediately reused as aluminum cans. So everything that you recycle becomes something new. And please also recycle paper. So these, if you need some, they're available at our table right over here. The next thing I wanted to mention is reusable bags. So we also have some of these to give away free, courtesy of the city. So if you need more reusable bags to help you eliminate plastic, some of those are over at the table. And then, how many of you have a dog or an outdoor cat? Raise your hand. So lots of people up here have dogs and outdoor cats. Well, to protect our water quality, which is, we get our drinking water from the ground around here. To protect our water quality, you need to pick up after your dog or your outdoor cat. So to demonstrate this, I brought a bag of dog poop. Do you think it's really dog poop, or does it just look like a bag of dog poop? It's my secret. So, it's so important, though, to pick up after your dog in your backyard, in your front yard, in your neighbor's yard, because that keeps your neighbor happy. And if you don't know how to pick up after your dog, kids can do this, not just parents. I'm going to demonstrate. So, you take a plastic bag, any old plastic bag, and then you put your hand inside, and then you pick up the item, which in this case would be dog or outdoor cat poop, and then you reverse the bag, and then you tie it in a knot, and you never have to touch it. Easy peasy, all clean. And then you throw it in the trash can. You do not flush dog or cat poop down the toilet. So, because then that just makes it harder to get rid of all that bacteria. So we want to keep the bacteria that the rain will wash into the streams out of the streams. So that's a really important one. Let me see. Then also I wanted to mention that if you need bags to pick up after your dog or cat, then I want you to play a game this coming week. Play I Spy a Plastic Bag, because around your house you will be astounded at how many plastic bags there are. They come on vegetables, they come on bread, they come on your cereal box, they come on your corn chips, they come on your dog treats. So play I Spy a Plastic Bag, and you'll find all kinds of bags that you can reuse. And then I just wanted to mention, Sierra Club is an organization that's over 120 years old now. And for 120 years, we've been helping people be able to enjoy the planet, but also helping motivate people to protect it. Because when we protect the planet, we're really benefiting ourselves. So if you're interested in knowing more about Sierra Club, we have a table over here. We are here in Columbia. And we also have some additional tips on things that you can do to help stop climate change, and also ways to reduce plastic in your life. So with that, let me wrap up, and let me check and see if M. Wakefield is here.
I'm M. Wakefield, and I want you all to imagine a world where entire towns, cities, and cultures become no more, having instead been doomed to a watery grave. Imagine a world where killer hurricanes and storms become the norm instead of freak disaster. Now imagine that these scenarios aren't just part of our imagination and become real. Imagine it's the future we're forced to live under. The truth is, you don't have to imagine, because this future is coming at us at the speed of a bullet. This bullet is our current climate crisis, and it's putting us all in grave danger. From rising seas to toxic air, not only is it going to hurt the entire planet, the reason this is all happening is because of us. It's caused by the rise of carbon dioxide in our air, which along with other greenhouse gases, have the ability to trap heat within our atmosphere. When the carbon dioxide in the air increases, the more heat we trap on our planet, and the worse the crisis becomes. This is because we burn fossil fuels for energy. The clearing of land has also increased the amount of carbon dioxide in the air because the amount of plant life that feeds off of it is shrinking. It's hard to shine a light on this darkness, but there's still hope. We still have the ability to turn the tables on climate change. But only if we act now. It can't be little changes either. We have to solve this problem like adults and like a team. We need to put aside our comfort for the good of our future. Solving this crisis has two possible solutions: mitigation on both small and large scales. Mitigation is the act of slowing, stopping, and undoing the effects of climate change. On a large scale, this involves the passing of laws and making changes that affect the entire world. On a small scale, we can mitigate our own personal impact on the climate, as well as taking the steps we need to make sure our local communities are educated as well. The following is a list of 9 decisions you can make to reduce your annual production of carbon dioxide. 1. Change your lights to compact fluorescent light bulbs. This saves around 150 pounds of carbon dioxide. 2. Change your methods of transportation. Making the decision to walk, bike, use public transit, and carpool saves about 1 pound of carbon dioxide for every mile you aren't driving. 3. Recycle. You can save 2,400 pounds of carbon dioxide by recycling just half of your household's waste. 4. Keep your tires inflated properly. This sounds a little weird, but this improves your gas mileage by about 3%. Every gallon of gas you save keeps about 20 pounds of carbon dioxide out of the air. 5. Reduce your use of hot water. Take shorter and colder showers, I know, that sucks, and wash your clothes in cooler water as well. This saves over 500 pounds of carbon dioxide. 6, be conscious of the packaging and what you buy. You can save 1,200 pounds of carbon dioxide if you reduce your garbage waste by just 10%. 7, change your thermostat. Moving it down by just 2 degrees in the winter and up 2 degrees in the summer saves 2,000 pounds of carbon dioxide. 8, plant trees and support organizations that plant trees. A single tree absorbs about 1 ton of carbon dioxide over its lifetime. And 9, turn off your electronics when you're not using them. The simple action of turning your TV, computer, etc. when not in use will save thousands of pounds of carbon dioxide and a lot of money. Also, turn off the lights in your rooms you're not currently using. On sunny days, keep the lights on and let the sunlight coming in from windows light the room instead. Another key role that we can play in the fight for our planet is advocacy by spreading awareness on how to fight climate change and writing to both your local and larger scale politicians to urge them to make changes to improve the climate. Support politicians and laws that are against coal and oil, and research candidates to make sure they are actually advocating for the betterment of our planet and not just joining in on the marches for attention. Joining in on climate marches and strikes, doing your research, and spreading information and not being afraid to stand up, be loud, and get the attention of lawmakers is vital to securing a future where we are able to stop climate change. However, as the little people of the world, there's only so much we can do. We must also take action on a larger scale that goes down to the very way we produce energy. Right now, we rely on the use of coal and oil to fuel our energy needs. However, these are among the highest producers of carbon dioxide. To have any hope of a future that hasn't been ruined by climate change, we will need to move on from using these sources of energy. There is also only a finite amount of coal and oil in the world, while a majority of clean energy is renewable in some way. There are 4 forms of energy that hold the key to our ability to keep up with our need for energy while at the same time slowing down the amount of carbon dioxide we release into the air. The main form of energy that we must use is nuclear power, which is pretty controversial, but it's the future, and here's why. It releases less greenhouse gases than other forms of energy. These gases have actually decreased by nearly half now that nuclear energy is more popular. It has little effect on the natural world because it doesn't discharge gases, and there's also no negative impact on water or land from the use of nuclear power. It's an inexpensive source of electricity. The cost of uranium is very low, and while setting up the plant itself can be pricey, running the plant is low cost and saves more money and resources in the long run. Nuclear power has a long-lasting supply of fuel, is accessible, environmentally friendly. If we want to pack on carbon dioxide, we need to go from using fossil fuels to nuclear energy. Furthermore, more forms of clean energy include solar, wind, and hydroelectric power. With these 4 powerhouses of energy in use together, we have the ability to turn the tides on climate change. Hope is not lost, and the time is nigh to band together as one and take back our planet. Our very future is at stake, but we have the power to put an end to the climate crisis. We just need the willpower, drive, and teamwork to put an end to this danger. Because just imagine a world where our air is clean and we don't fear for our future. A world where we realize the effects of our actions and took action. It doesn't have to be our imagination, because to quote Helen Keller, alone we can do so little, but together we can do so much. We all need to make these great strides towards a cleaner future, not just a handful of us. We can do this, and we need to do it together, as one and now, and prove once more just how capable and just how far we as human beings have come. Thank you.
All right, we're going to finish with this is a tune called We Are the Future, and I believe the lyrics are in the handouts that were handed out. So if you have them, feel free to sing along if you like.
We are crazy, we are curious, we
that's the Earth Kids Choir. Give it up one more time for the Earth Kids Choir. They are the future, and I think the future is in good hands. All right, we're gonna march now. Our Kids Choir is gonna lead the way. So why don't you all head off stage right there, and then everybody else follow the kids. And we'll go marching. Thank you.